Oh, we are live on the internet, ladies and gentlemen. Bitcoin, crypto, whole markets remaining on edge, seeing a correction rejection off the 50-day EMAs today for all the majors. A lot of the altcoins still mega effing wrecked, okay? China fears. China! It's China, guys. China every time. And Donald, as I always say, as my granddaddy once told me, Trump, Xi Jinping, if you have to measure it, you've already lost, okay? Come on, guys, put the rulers away. We all know what size they are. It's fine. It's fine, guys. Anyway, we got a lot to talk about today, including answering your questions in the second half of the stream. So make sure you stick around for the good times. Let's get it. So, first and foremost, why is that not working? Fascinating. You guys hear me? Everything okay? Sound-wise? Oh, there it goes. Holy cow. Some kind of delay was going on there. All right, we're good. We're good. We're good. All right. Good. Okay, there we go. Bit of a delay on the thing, but I think we're good to go now. Okay, guys. Check this out. Hilarious meme shared by Mert today. Traders then, our favorite holding position is forever. The market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. HODL, diamond handing the F out of these coins. Traders now, is this the top? Is this the top? Is this the top? My wife's boyfriend is so handsome. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This is a good one. Check this out. Tell me the top is not in without telling me the top is not in, okay? Almost every analyst for the big banks is currently predicting recession, the big market crash the next couple of weeks or months. This is not bearish. Oh, yeah. Come back when 60 Minutes is telling us that it's only going to go up forever. That's the top. When they're saying everybody's getting hilariously rich and they're interviewing, I don't know, shoe shine boys outside of the New York Stock Exchange who made $1 million. That's the top, baby. Jamie says, not popular theory. Bitcoin top is in, no altcoin season. Can you imagine a scorcher sentiment here? Oh, yeah. If there was essentially zero. I mean, look, there's been many altcoin seasons for certain narratives. There's been huge runs in altcoins. This sort of just hold any old random shit, hope it goes up. That has not been working. Okay. 126 was the top. Altcoin season's canceled. Interestingly, if $126,000 was the top, that basically lines up with the 4-year theory. Okay, because the 4-year theory, basically, the target was essentially sometime in October. I think if you count 524 days, which is the median length between the last two Bitcoin halvings to all-time highs, I think it was like October 8th or something like that. I don't believe in that bearish propaganda. Maybe we'll come back here in a year and be like, Lark, you're such a dumbass. We'll see. Won't be the first time. But the macro has not changed. This is the thing. Rates are still being cut. Credit risk spreads are still super effing loose. Financial conditions are still super effing loose. All that kind of stuff. Global M2 is still pumping. The trade deal is going to get itself sorted out. Bear market, yes or no? No. No, Tom. Are you buying that? Bought the dip over the weekend. I don't know if we're deploying any more cash this week. Let's see. Don't know. But I've just been buying Pump and Solana, and I bought a little bit of Aster, stuff like that. Just top it up on some existing bags. U.S. stock futures did not like what China had to say. Look at this. Market's down 1.25% in pre-market. Let's see what happens when the world wakes up. China says it will fight to the end if the USA wants a trade war. If you wish to negotiate, our door remains open. Is this literally what the markets are dumping about over? Like, really? Nothing else has happened that I'm aware of, except backward tits and tats between, Trump and Xi. Yeah, of course. China will fight a trade war if the U.S. wants a trade war. Them's not necessarily fighting. We're just saying, well, we're going to respond if we have to. But if we want to negotiate, let's do that. Everybody wants to negotiate. Everybody wants to make a deal. And in 2 weeks, these two MFers right here, those guys are going to meet, I think, in South Korea. And they're going to sit down, they're going to talk, and they're going to be buddy-buddy, and they're going to do handshakes. And, of course, Trump's going to shake Xi Jinping's hand like a normal human being, not like he does with Emmanuel Macron. You ever see Trump shake Emmanuel Macron's hand? I mean, goodness gracious, man. Can you telegraph to the world that you have such a complete amount of like loathing and disrespect for Emmanuel Macron. Look at the way he just tosses him around. And that's a different story. Be nice, polite handshake with Xi Jinping. They're going to sit down. Everyone's going to work really hard. They're going to make a great fucking deal that everyone walks away from and feels like they're a winner. And they can present to their constituencies like they're winners. And the world's going to move on and markets are going to pump and it'll be glorious. And if they don't, we're all fucked. Okay, there you go. There you go. China confirms working level talks to the USA. So despite all the bluster you see in the media, everyone's talking, okay? China's Commerce Ministry said it has notified the U.S. in advance of its new rare earth export controls to confirm working level talks on Monday. The ministry criticized Washington for threatening and imposing new sanctions while seeking dialogue, urging the U.S. to correct its actions and show sincerity. Both sides remain in contact through existing trade consultation channels. Everybody's talking. It'll be fine, okay? Check this out. Amundi. Pretty big deal over in Europe, guys. If you know. Anyway, $2.6 trillion, Europe's largest asset manager. Think of them like the Fidelity of Europe, okay? These guys launched a Bitcoin ETF. Welcome to the party, pal. Great, good. Nothing stops this train. Indeed, it does not. Here's a reminder, and look, this is just random historical performance. As we all know, past performance is not equal future performance. Crypto's risky as fuck. You can lose all your money. I don't know how many times I've said that, and people still don't fucking believe me, and then they go lose all their money, but I'm not gonna lose all my money. I said don't take massive risks. Stop using cross margin, everybody. Anyway, different story. Full risk disclaimer and portfolio disclosures down below, by the way, if you want to see those in the comments section or the description on YouTube. Been coming over next. So when you have a green September for Bitcoin, October has always ended green every single time. Does not mean it's guaranteed to happen again, but if you want to take betting odds, yep. Bitcoin currently, check this out. It's hard, thing I like about charts and technical analysis, it's hard to argue with them, When you see an uptrend get lost, yeah, it's a problematic situation. When you see the MACD turnover, problematic situation. When you see, I just came in to watch the fake happiness, what he's selling now, grape gas. I love my life, dude. And I hope you do too. Haven Peck. Life's a vibe, man. And if you're playing the game with enough money that's going to mess you up, think about dialing down your risk. Okay? Okay. Anyway. One thing I love about charts here is that try not to put your own emotions on. We do, because we're, humans. That's what we do. But what do we just have here? A bearish underside retest in the 50-day EMA. Now, we got a video coming out tonight, the TLDR, and you should watch the video because it's super interesting and informative. The TLDR is that essentially it takes, on average, around 90 days for markets to come back to previous highs. Okay? Yo, what's up, man? Thank you. I appreciate you. Hope you have a great day. Great. Just our little secret that you're watching at work. It's fine. Anyway, here's the big boss right now for the price of Bitcoin. And honestly, we're going to just breeze over the Solana and Ethereum charts when we get to them today because they look almost exactly the same. And my sentiment is exactly the same on these, okay? Is that right now, this is the big boss. We got to get back over the 50-day EMA because here we go. Very clearly, Mark, what did the market just tell us? Respect the 50-day EMA, okay? Had a nice big fat move up, nice fat rejection. That's not bullish, that's bearish. Okay? Doesn't mean we're going into a bear market, doesn't mean it's the end of everything for years on end. We did just have a massive traumatic event in the market. That's not great, but normally those traumatic events when it's not a regime change, right? The end of 2021, what happened? Inflation started roaring, the Fed started hiking interest rates. That was a macro regime change. We have not had that. In fact, the macro conditions are getting looser and looser all the time. What happened over the weekend was much more reminiscent of the 2020 COVID crash. Okay? Okay. So, anyway, let's watch see how this plays out over the next few days. The low was down here at 107. This is on Coinbase. I think Binance went down like 102 or something like that. So what you don't want to see now is this happen, essentially. Let me just draw it here. What you don't want to see is this starting to play out, okay? That's downtrend. What you want to see is this, maybe some screw around here, and then start grinding back up, okay? Okay. By the way, my Bitcoin long did get stopped out today on the pullback. I think I made like $200 or $300 on in the end. So I did move my stop just a little bit beyond break even. So cool. It's fine. It's fine. Moved. Probably should have set my take profit at the 50-day EMA, to be honest. But anyway, that's not what I did. I was going for a little bit higher. We didn't quite get the momentum in the market. Pretty weak. Actually bounced back so far. Salon along still open at this time. If you want to join trading over on BitUnix, link down below here. Real thing. There it is. Link down below. We're doing crazy deposit bonus. Of course, you can long short the rips and the dips and all that kind of stuff, guys. No KYC available to anyone, anywhere. That's you, okay? So if we want to start trading, just click the link, start trading. Crazy deposit bonuses. $2,000 get $400 back. $5,000 get $500 back. $10,000 get $700 back. Plus crazy trading bonuses. Plus we're giving away $1,000 every live stream. Today's live stream, we're giving away $1,000. So 1,830 people in for the giveaway. We asked Grok to think about it. Took him almost 3 minutes this time, Grok, but okay. Rock and roll. Let's go ahead and plug the winners in here. Of course, we're excluding anybody who deposited less than $110 because there are people trying to game the system. This dude put in $430. Congratulations. You're giving $500 back. That's user ID 327612161. Of course, we're not sharing email addresses to preserve your privacy. This is a spreadsheet. The team will put it in manually within the next 24 hours or so. Check your My Rewards Center for that sweet bonus. And the other winner here for today. Oh, I think I'm missing the 7 there, aren't I? There we go. Here. This guy here. Oh, nice. Put the $500 in. You got $500 back. That's user ID 538341177. Okay, go check it out. Link down below. You can be in to win tomorrow's giveaway. Okay, so Coin Trader Nick. Gold has just reached its most overbought level in history, hitting 91.8 on the monthly RSI. Look, if you're into technical analysis, 91.8 is insane on the monthly. Like, these are crazy, crazy levels. But I agree, when 91.8 on the Bitcoin monthly RSI, man, in any sane kind of world, gold should be topping out pretty damn soon, okay? Doesn't mean the RSI can't stay elevated for a while. It doesn't mean we can't have a lower high on the RSI that has a higher gold price. It's classic, right? It's the bearish divergence. So maybe you see gold top out at $4,200 or something like that. Short term, slight pullback, raise to $5,000 in the next 6 months or something like that. You don't even look interested in whatever you're still doing. Okay, Casbah, good times, man. Good times. I know a lot of people are messed up after the weekend, guys. Try to stay on the positive side. Look, crypto's crazy. I get it. I get it, okay? If I lack any enthusiasm, I'm still recovering from my surgery last week. I'm doing my best here, guys. But I love this market. This place is great, even if it's fucking crazy. But that's part of the reason why we're here, because it's so crazy, right? Just don't want to be too crazy sometimes. Anyway, besides the point, Bitcoin will top the monthly when we get to these kind of levels, okay? That's it. The question is when that's going to happen. Question is when that's going to happen, okay? This cycle, for all intents and purposes, looks like it's going to extend well into 2026. Maybe that's wrong, but especially if we lose this. This is the US dollar index. Now, look, you might say, well, Lark, we're in for a massive bounce, and that's it, man. Going to be game over for a while. DXY is going to take charge. Dollar's going to come raging back, and it's going to go to the moon. Risk assets are going to get screwed. Or we lose a 15-year trend line, and it crashes even further. We'll see. Like I said, ETH commentary pretty quick today. We're actually getting a bearish crossover down the 20 and 50-day EMAs. Under the RSI control line, MACD under the 0 line. Not even looking at a bullish crossover currently. So just a lot of bearish things on the ETH chart right now until we really probably reclaim about 4250, which is where the 50-day EM is right now, where we got rejected today. That's the line in the sand. That's what we need to see the price move over, okay? Are we depending on ETFs to turn things around? I think ETFs, especially for Solana, XRP, they're probably going to have a nice bump in the market when they come. Other stuff, I'm not so sure. By the time we start getting to altcoin ETF number 10 or 15, I don't think it's going to make much of a difference anymore. It'll get to that, much like happened with the digital asset treasury companies, the more and more of them got announced, the less and less impact it had, and the less the coins, the stocks pumped and all that kind of stuff, the less the coins pumped, all that. I'm a cryptoholic. Let's go. One of us. One of us. That insider guy shorted Bitcoin, did it again. He shorted yesterday. Can you elaborate? Not much to say about it. I saw that. I mean, look, stocks are down today. Nothing so far has been announced except for that China news. Nothing that I've found anyway. Peace broke out in the Middle East. The market didn't really care about that. Everything's about the U.S.-China trade war, and China says, well, we'll fight a trade war if we want, but let's negotiate instead. Doesn't sound wildly bearish to me, but markets are feeling sensitive right now, especially crypto markets after what happened a few days ago. Solana, what if we literally put Solana on Wall Street? Is this them saying that a Solana ETF's coming soon? I feel like it's some innuendo there. Another big liquidation coming soon. I don't think so. I mean, look, there will be plenty of liquidations along the way. Don't get me wrong. Okay? There will be plenty of liquidations along the way. But another one like that, not soon. Not soon. That's very, very rare. And after they happen, it takes a long time for that amount of leverage built in the system again. Powell was sharing nothing today about easing. Yeah, that's right. Jerome Powell's talking today, so that's spooking markets a little bit too. You know, Jerome Powell's going to say something, and if he's wearing the wrong color tie, people are going to, you know, channel their spirits and say, oh no, it's time to sell because he wore the wrong color tie. This is how it is, guys. This is how it is. There's enough evidence for who the main guy was to short the market. Yeah, some guy named Garrett, I think, is what some people are saying. But so we follow that guy. Well, facts of life, that's the tricky part. You know, if you could, I mean, now he had that big trade. He obviously, a lot of supporting evidence to say he probably knew something in advance of that. Now, is he going to know something again? See, now that he's got the attention, and people are following his address, now he can start doing different things. Think he's got, if the guy's got that much money, I think it's all just on Hyperliquid, right? So he might, you know, short in one place, long in another place. You don't know, man. You don't know what's going on. So it's really dangerous to try to just follow these addresses. But, you know, he's had one good call so far. Let's put it that way. Anyway, Solana charts, like I said, looking the same like Bitcoin and Ethereum today. We got to get back over the 50-day EMA. So for Bitcoin, that's around $115,800. For ETH, $4,250. For Solana, about $210. This is the thing. If you're looking for a trade right now, these right now, what you see is that the market's showing weakness. Okay, we ran up into this resistance at the EMAs. We didn't cross over it. Now, that's normal to not get crossed over on the first attempt. It's fine. Okay, but what you don't want to see now is to start building the lower highs and lower lows. Okay, you want to see retake attempt at these key EMAs and to get over within the next, let's say, few days, right? Continuing. Pumped Up Fun is not having a lot of fun today. Price holding above this sort of relatively interesting area for the short term here at 0.0036. RSI nearing oversold. Hard run here in a very short amount of time. Within a month, we've gone from massively overbought to basically massively oversold. We haven't quite hit oversold yet technically, but we're very, very close to it. Okay. The run back on this one will be absolutely epic. But right now, definitely price has been suffering. Pengu. Over 1 billion Pengu tokens withdrawn from exchanges in the past 3 days, accounting for more than 1% of the total supply. Let's go. Penguin to the moon. Just not today. Just not today, guys. All the coins are trading under the key short-term EMAs. That's not bullish. It's bearish, okay? Doesn't mean we're entering a new bear market. Doesn't mean everything's over forever. But you want to see these EMAs get retaken very, very soon to have good longing opportunities on these, okay? So keep an eye out for that. Litecoin as well, similar situation. Zcash still remaining very high price-wise. Had to pull back, of course, from the $300 level, now down at 228. I think, personally, I would not be surprised after all the hype, because there's only so much money, right? After all the hype, I would not be shocked to see it pull back to the 20-day EMA at $170, or dare I say, even back to around $125, which is around the 50-day EMA. The daily MACD is losing momentum currently, okay? I know when it's $300 and everyone's euphoric, they're going to tell you it's go to $10,000 a coin. Shit, maybe it will someday, but it doesn't mean there's not going to be gross pullbacks, okay? Currently, pulling back. Momentum is waning. That is what the MACD is telling us. The daily RSI got to the upper 90s, or lower 90s, 91, 92. That's huge, okay? Now we're seeing the RSI finally pulling back into normal range. How much that corrects down, of course, anybody's guess, but momentum is slowly waning. It doesn't mean that Zcash is a bad bet. I don't own any Zcash. Doesn't mean it's a bad bet. Doesn't mean that it is not going to go up higher. Doesn't mean that it can't do one of these deals, right? Where you have a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and push back up. Now, maybe you think this is a great value zone right here at 227. Personally, I would like to see retest the 20-day EMA and this zone of resistance back here. Probably a more interesting entry point, depending on how weak or shaky markets may look going forward. You may even see this test this lower level around 122, 125. So again, if you're a big Zcash bull, watch for the dips, okay? By the way, guys, we're not signed up for the newsletter yet. It's free. It's free. It's awesome. There's a link right down below in the pinned comment over on X. It's free. You can check it out. Get insane insights straight to your inbox multiple times per week. You'll love it. Our 170,000 plus readers love it. Go check it out. Link down below. Okay, so that being said, Lark, get some minoxidil on your head. Yeah. Just gonna have to shave it all off at some point. Not today, though. Not today. My red light had it, guys. All right. It's obvious that the more bullish people are, the lower it will go, and vice versa. Everyone will be emotionally and financially wrecked. Markets usually find the way to hurt most people. Thoughts on Telegram Open Network if you're bullish? I feel like it had a good amount of momentum going before the French arrested Pavel, and after that, I don't think it's ever really recovered as an ecosystem. So I don't know. I don't really think about the Telegram Open Network very much, personally. I think it's other things that are more interesting for me. Can I look at the useless chart? Should I take some profits? Let's open up the chart, man. I mean, look, whether I tell you to take profits or not, that's a very personal question between, you and God. But we can have a look at the charts here and try to infer. That one's not as Binance. Oh, MEXC. They always list shit super early, don't they? Yes. Look at this. Okay. Well, that's interesting. When did I draw this? That's fascinating. The TA on this has been super clean. That's crazy. So you see we had this basically giant bull flag here, right? So after the huge run up, big fat bull flag, huge consolidation, big breakout. Now, the price target, technical price target on this bull flag here is going to be up around 55 cents or something like that. Well, Previous all-time high is about 48 cents, wicked up to anyway, NMXC. I don't know if you really count that or not, but let's say 55 cents approximately would be the breakout target for this here. The problem is right now, it is running into previous resistance here. So this let's count that as the previous all-time high. This wick probably didn't appear on most exchanges, just probably on MEXC here. So previous all-time highs here, stopped once, stopped twice. Not fantastic, okay? You want to see it blast through there to get up to this 55 cent mark and probably mark a local high of some variety. It's crazy. Even the wick came back and down basically the bottom of the bull flag here. Anyway, now in terms of whether you should take profits on this, look, it's come back up. It's currently sitting at resistance. Certainly better to sell at resistance versus buy at resistance. If you think the rest of Q4 is going to be bullish, maybe Useless is going to keep running. Maybe they climbed up to $1 for all we know. Who the hell knows? Here's a few thoughts for you. I can't tell you whether to take profits or not. I don't know what your portfolio is, man. Maybe this is everything. Maybe this is life-changing money and you finally fucking made it. And that's it. It's on the table. All you have to do is click the sell button. Your life's changed forever. Maybe in that situation, consider changing your life. Maybe this is an uncomfortably large percentage of your portfolio now. Maybe it's worth just rebalancing some of it. Maybe this started off as 5% of your portfolio. Now it's 40% of your portfolio, and it's stressing you out at night having so much money on such a highly, wildly speculative thing like Useless. Maybe you can take some money off them. You can just reduce that. You know, you can take your initial capital out. You can take your initial capital out and double your money. I don't know what your position looks like. I don't know what your entry points are. That's why I can't take profits. I don't know, man. I can't tell you because I don't know where you're at. I mean, maybe you bought it, you know, here at 32 cents and you're at 35 cents and you got a tiny amount of profit in. Who knows? Again, right? You got to make that decision yourself. I'm just going to give you some ideas to think about here. Yeah. So how much risk are you taking on this position currently? How much does the money mean to you if you were to sell? How confident are you that it'll go higher? These are some questions to think about. I think if it breaks through that resistance at 40 cents or whatever, it's probably going to rip quite a bit higher. Obviously, it's had an incredible reaction. It is in an uptrend currently, unlike most coins, okay? 20-day EMA is pointing up, 50-day EMA is pointing up, breaking out of a major bull flag with a target of 55 cents. It could go higher, but there's no guarantees. It's a meme coin, okay? The bonk cartel probably controls a gargantuan amount of the supply, and when they decide they're going to dump it, they're going to dump the living shit out of it, but they might want to pump it higher first. So I don't know, okay? I don't know. Chart's looking good right now. Rejected resistance twice. You need to go over that level for continuation. If you're in big profits, like I said, nothing wrong with taking some off the table. Nobody ever went broke taking profits. And one of the tricky things that you're going to experience a lot of the times is that you'll get trapped and say, it's only going to go up forever. Like, you know, Useless is the chosen meme coin of the cycle. It's going to go on forever and ever and ever and go to be worth $50 billion. My experience with meme coins is that very, very, very few of them manage to maintain any kind of attention for more than a few weeks or a few months at max. So don't get lulled into holding this forever, okay? Yo, Jess, what's up, man? Linear and Chainlink nailed the Swift pilot. It's good. Can you look at the Cardano chart? Okay, just the chart. Just look at the chart, okay? Behave yourself, Lark. Just look at the chart. 80 USD. Let's go. Let's see what's going on with Charles Coin here. Beard coin. Beard coin. Oh, looking worse than the other majors. Looks more like Pump or Pengu chart or something like that, which is understandable because they're lower liquidity altcoins. You can see the Solana, Ethereum, Bitcoin, they all came back up to at least retest their 50-day EMAs. I mean, that sell-off from 83 cents down to 61 here on Coinbase, it did go lower on some other exchanges, I think. Pretty brutal sell-off, and it has a long way to go to recover from that, to reclaim key EMAs. I mean, look, I know some of you guys are super bullish on Cardano. You love the beard. I get it. It's a good beard, man. I understand. But Who the hell is buying Cardano these days? I don't even know. What's the reason for this thing to go higher? I guess it gets an ETF. By the time it gets an ETF, with ETF number 20 for altcoins, I don't even think it's going to move the needle that much. I guess just the cult aspect of it. Anyway, besides the point. Told us only got to talk about the chart. Lark, keep it clean. Come on. Look, it's got a lot of work to do. If you're looking for just long-term buy and hold spot buys, I mean, 51, 52 cents. We saw that act as support 2 times in June and in April. Okay. That's probably the next big target if the market starts rolling over more. So if Bitcoin, Solana, and Ethereum, the majors, if they fail to retake their 50-day EMAs by, let's say, like the end of the week or something like that, that probably indicates more bearish sentiment coming to the market because the market loses momentum. Again, we just had a lot of people get effed up last week, okay? Like losing shit tons of money. So the bid for altcoins in that situation probably going to be a lot weaker. So I wouldn't be shocked to see it come back down to this level right here in that scenario. Now, the other side of that coin is that we could have had this big sell-off and we could be, after that, starting a new list of higher highs, higher lows, and it does some shit like that in Q4, for example, okay? Now, the key determining factor here for you to watch, if you're trading this, I'm not talking about just buying long-term spot bags, you hope are going to go up in value at some point in the future because you're super into Charles's beard. Look for the 20-day EMA to be taken out if you're looking for a trade on this. That's currently around 75, 76 cents, something like that, okay? Daily close here, good for a long trade. But I honestly feel like even for trading, there's coins that have better volatility, better upside potential, and I'm just more interested in trading personally. Let's catch up in the chat here. What about Ethena? Let's look at the Ethena charts. Got smashed. Like a lot of coins. Let's have a look at the chart. USDE held up basically everywhere except on Binance. Binance it depegged pretty significantly. That's because of Binance's internal oracles, not relying on external oracles. Otherwise, the USDE stablecoin actually took it like a champ, man. Sailors were in town. Ethena said, let's do it. Took it like a champ. Anyway, kind of references that, Lark. Anyway. We went down 75%. It's in a downtrend, quite simply. There's not really anything else to say for it. I don't know why I continue holding spot bags. I'd almost be better off just sell and wait for it to reclaim some kind of strength. But, I guess I'm just going to be stubborn and hold on to it anyway. So 20-day EMA is now under the 50 here, okay? Not good. I thought we were on the verge of recovering back here when I sort of bought it like 62 cents. Like, okay, nope, didn't happen. Obviously, now at 25, 30% loss on Ethena currently. I mean, it's all relative because I swapped another altcoin bag for it. I'd probably be more upset if I put fresh cash into that. Just kind of whatever. That other altcoin bag would have been down just as much, so who the fuck cares? It's fine. But Ethena, what you want to watch out for right now. Here. There's your downtrend line right there. Okay? What's this doing here? There's your downtrend line. There's the 20-day EMA, there's 50-day EMA, all very, very closely linked right now. First stop, 20-day EMA around 52 cents. So if you're a value buyer, you like what Ethena is doing, well, it's currently at value. Where's the 200-day EMA here? We're even under the 200-day EMA. I mean, when you're under the 200-day EMA, it's bearish, right? That's just simple based on science and mathematics, okay? 20-day EMA, that's what you want to take out. That's 52 cents. You're looking for a trade on this. That's the breakout trade. Trying to run it back up to at least sort of this 80 cent area, I would say. Okay, there we go. Do you think, is there any possible way for Bitcoin to reach 1 lock? What the heck is a lock? Hold on, let me ask Grok. Let me ask Grok here. How much is 1 lock, and how much Bitcoin is worth versus one lock now? Aha! Let's consult the AI Oracle about it, guys. I've heard the term, but I have no idea how much a lock is. So I don't know, man. We're gonna find out though. Grok's gonna tell us. Indian rupee of 100,000 Indian rupees. Mm-hmm. Is that right? 100,000 Indian rupees. Is that what one lock is? We're gonna find out here. I'm curious what the answer is gonna be. All the comments here are from bots except for the ones about Cardano. Okay. Where is Elon? Elon, start tweeting some shit about Bitcoin, man. Come on, Elon, do us a solid, man. Let's go buy $1 billion worth of Bitcoin. Let's do it. Let's do it. Mike, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. People are hurting out there, man. It happens every time there's a big flush out like this. I get it. I sympathize. I do. I've been there. I've been through the trauma. I've had massive washouts, or, you know, I think was it August of last year? Man, it was the Japanese yen carry trade. That one almost got me bad. I had some very low leverage loans on Bitcoin versus my Bitcoin and Ethereum, and shit went down. I had to sell a bunch of altcoins at the time. I did not want to sell a bunch of altcoins in order to make sure those loans did not get liquidated. Not good. Not good. I'm still thinking about it. Grok cannot make sense of this lock stuff here. Oh, here we go. One lock is the Indian rupee numbering into 100,000. Assuming this refers to one lock Indian rupees, one Bitcoin is currently worth 10.2 million rupees, or 100 locks. This means you could buy let's say 0.01 BTC with one lock. So is that right? Is that right? So no, if your question is that Bitcoin is ever going to go back down to those kind of prices, no, that's the world ends in that situation. We end. It's over. Man, Graham, I know exactly how you feel. Like, it just, honestly, look, I've put a lot of money into stocks. Last 2 years have been brutal. You know, unless you were just absolutely, completely, just mega rotating and just hardcore, just ruthlessly, just ripping everything out of the market, you know, fuck whatever. It doesn't matter whatever it is. Just screw it all, max extract on everything all the time. Unless that was your attitude for the last 2 years, you've probably underperformed, especially versus the stock market, which has absolutely raged, you know, with lots of great stocks doing cool shit. Most of our crypto coins are vaporware bullshit. There's very few coins that are even investable in this market. There's a few dozen, let's say, maybe 100 max, that are actually even investable in crypto. The others, you can trade a momentum and stuff like that, all the meme coins, all this kind of dumb bullshit. Sure, why not? Fine. Again, give me a good market, I'll trade. It's fine. But yeah, look at like my AVAX bags that I had. I've sold them since and bought some other shit. I think I put it all into a pumped up fund, which is now back to break even. C'est la vie. Anyway, besides the point. 2 years ago, I could have sold my AVAX for basically what I sold it for last month and put it into stocks, and it would have been worth 2 or 3 times as much. It's been brutal, man. It's been brutal. Any tips for beginners come to the world of stocks? Yeah, I should. Actually made a stock course. I should release it at some point. It's a different conversation, but look, that's a whole another kettle of fish to open up there with the world of stocks. But if you're just trading, not much different. Just look at the charts. What are the EMAs saying? Is it an uptrend? Is it a downtrend? Yada, 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 right? In terms of finding undervalued gems in the stock market, that's trickier. But there's some really great stocks out there that, you know, it depends what you want. Are you looking for like high growth tech stocks? Are you looking for safer dividend stocks, indexes? And there's so much going on. I don't know where the hell we'd start with that conversation. We should start having the conversation more. I feel like we should start covering more of the stock world here on the channel, even in the newsletter, in the Discord. We're going to start doing a lot more of the stock world, right? We talk about it a little bit. I've talked about it a little bit over time. You know, shared with you guys when I was buying Tesla at, was it $220 or something? And people are like, what the heck? Are you buying Tesla at $220? It's going to go to zero. Like, okay, guys, it's up almost 100% now. So yay for me. But we should talk about that stuff more. I invest actually quite a bit in stocks. I'm quite very interested in stocks, but we've kind of kept the channel more crypto for a long time. And that has been a tricky bet, hasn't it? Doing crypto has been rough. And look at this shit last week. I mean, that's what fucking happened in stocks, man. Crypto, man. Crypto. Anyway. Even Lark finally talking about moving to stocks. I've been in stocks for a long time. I love stocks, man. It's always been, I always kind of take money out of crypto profits and put it into the stock market, right? So that's kind of been my long-term plan. That's what I've been continually doing anyway. But yeah, I think we gotta start doing more of that, honestly. There's been so many good plays. So I need to rethink my strategy here. I mean, yeah, anyway, that's different conversation. We'll have that one later. Love your take on the stock markets. I think we'll start talking about that stuff some more. We're gonna anyway, continuing. Top single for stocks right there. I mean, Harry, I've been buying stocks for years, man. So I guess it was a top signal in 2022 when I bought a shit ton of stocks too. But I get it. I get it. Look, you can't just go blindly buying stocks, can you? I mean, but I look at all the macro stuff. We talk about the stock indexes and stuff like that and the futures market and all that. And I look at all the macro stuff as it relates to the stock market, right? And the head or the tailwinds of the rate cuts and the global M2 and all that stuff, it is splashing over a lot more into the stock world. And Raul Powell shared this great chart that right now the stock market, everyone's calling for a bubble. And look, we just shared that story at the start of the stream about, oh, like, you know, 60 Minutes is out like, oh, it's 1929 all over again. There will be a reckoning for the market at some point. But if you look at the .com bubble, that was actually like a massive deviation from the previous range. The current massive AI bubble is within the uptrend channel, and it's only one standard deviation above the center line. We got a lot of room left to go before we get to .com levels. In order for the stock market to be as overvalued as it was at the top of the .com bubble, the prices would have to rise by 50% still. That's insanity, man. No, really. That's fucking nuts. You have the biggest investors. I saw Howard Marks today. He said, I don't see a problem with the stock market. You have a lot of good companies with great earnings. Where's the issue? One of the most famous investors of all time, right? So yeah, can some things be overvalued short term? Can a bit of the AI trade be a bit of an, was it Ouroboros, you know, snake eating his own tail? Or no, I'm not going to make that analogy. We don't need to make the other analogy. You know what I'm thinking? Look, yeah, there's a bit of that going on, sure. But a lot of good things happening over there. You know, I've been trying to get into pre-market deals for, Figure AI and Apptronic, the robotics companies. I had my broker work on trying to get those deals for me for a while. I think we might finally be getting them coming through. So that's exciting. Anyway, well, oh my gosh, before, okay, one or two more questions, guys, I'm going to finish up. PE ratios make them look overvalued. In some cases, yeah, but you know, the PE ratio thing, I don't know. It's obviously relevant, but some stocks have just had such high PE ratios for such a long period of time. That's like, you could have looked at, I don't know, Tesla years ago. I'm like, well, it's got an overvalued PE ratio. And that just surges like thousands of percent over years. Like, but it's still overvalued PE ratio. Yeah, but it's never going to give a fuck. Right? Any chance an altcoin season in 2025? Look, again, if you're waiting around for this broad altcoin season where everybody eats and every single coin goes up magically at the same time, sure, it could still happen at some point. But things have been a lot more selective. And more than ever, it's important to be with your altcoin portfolio. Having an altcoin portfolio seems like an absurdity at this point, doesn't it? You know, just keeping cash, run up whatever the runner is of the week and just cash out. Anyway, just trade it, man. Don't date it. With this giant leverage flush out, ironically, a lot of people think it's probably mega bearish and it's going to start the bear market, which I disagree with. A lot of people, I think, will be going to be surprised that this leverage flush out actually removes all the toxic liquidity from the system, basically in one giant horrific stab, just like stab to the market, and that ironically clears the way for a major move in altcoins to happen. Anyway, gosh darn it, guys. I think we're gonna have to finish up there for the day. Track cardboard stocks, Phils, if you're getting the stocks. I think the market will play with our newfound hopium online. Oh, the market will always find a way to screw you, man. Always does. Always. All right, we're going to finish up there, guys. You're awesome. I appreciate you guys. We'll see you back in tomorrow's stream. Peace until then. Have a great day or evening, wherever you are. Thank you. Bye.